Hi, folks. I'm Gene McLaughlin. I'd like to welcome you to Old Bridge Outlook with Mayor Owen Henry. On this program, the mayor has a chance to chat with you about things taking place in the township and to introduce you to people making things happen in the township. I'm delighted in that case to welcome in our new guest today, the new director of the Department of Public Works, Kasey Lenning. Kasey, welcome.
Thank you.
Good to have you with us today.
Appreciate it.
Mayor,
how are we doing, Gene? Good to have you back. Good to see you.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, COVID is breaking us up a little bit.
We have to get the band back together, as they say.
We got to get it together. Mayor, just real quickly before we get talking with Kasey, if we could, the budget.
Sure. A lot of things going on, Gene, but it's that time of year where the budget is getting introduced now. The public will be able to see the whole presentation. I'm proud to say that our budget this year, I think, is a very good budget. Mm-hmm. We're improving services. We're not reducing any services. Right. So we're continuing, and yet we continue to expand services where we think the public needs to be, where we need to be in the town, keep up the quality of life, level of service. And Kasey's one of the big budget items. The DPW takes a lot of money, but it's worth it.
Right.
That's where that contact with the public.
Right.
Is every morning when they back out of the driveway, they back out onto a township road most of the time.
Right.
So, but yeah, there's a lot going on in town, Gene. There's some projects being put through the planning board, and everybody, I think, is aware of what's going on. We have some construction projects going on in town that are become kind of a nuisance, but we're working on them every day to try to make them better, and hopefully they will get completed sooner and get our roads back opened up, and they'll be moving traffic as normal, as we say.
Okay, Mayor, one thing you mentioned off the air too, which sort of surprised me a little bit, the golf course.
Yes. Golf course is finally getting started.
Yeah.
Probably when people are watching this tape, you might see equipment at the site. Lambertson Rose Farm getting converted into an 18-hole professional golf course, municipal owned. It's being paid for by a developer who's working in town at the warehouse projects on Route 9. So it's finally going to happen. So we're hoping maybe the middle of 2024 we will be able to open up the golf course, but we should be having a groundbreaking ceremony rather soon.
That'd be a great project.
It is.
Great,
it's a
great addendum to the town.
To the town. Great addition to the town. The people who live in that area now will live next to a golf course. It's going to be
Very
good.
nice.
Finally, it's been,
Very
I think,
nice.
talked about for 30 years now.
Yes, it has been.
Finally, we're getting it done.
Okay,
at no
good.
cost to the taxpayers.
Yeah,
so that's
good.
Great.
Kasey, if we may turn to you now, I don't mean to let you sit there. Kasey, Department of Public Works. What's the requirements or the prerequisites to become a director of a big operation like that? Do you have to be certified or?
Absolutely. So to become a director of public works in any township in New Jersey, you have to obtain a certified public works director certificate from Rutgers University.
Okay, and what does that entail? What do you have to know?
It's a broad spectrum program because if you look at public works throughout the state, every public works is different.
Yes, sir.
So they give you the basics, and then through experience working for the township for nearly 14 years now, you learn the ins and outs of the department.
Okay. Mayor, I was saying to Kasey off the air that such a broad portfolio down there. One of your pet projects we've just been through, snow.
Yes, well,
okay.
Town has always had the responsibility to remove snow from the roadways and parking lots, and DPW and the rec department, that's their task when it snows, too foul weather. But Public Works, they handle so many different, on a daily basis. We'd be here for a couple of days talking about all the tasks that need to be performed. I think sometimes people don't realize how much they do, and their interaction with other departments. Kasey and the Public Works are involved in almost every department, engineering, the police, as I said, the rec department.
Yes, sir.
They're always called upon to do something. When help's needed, we call the Public Works department to help us out.
Lucky you.
Yes.
Right, Kasey, okay.
We're glad to help.
But Kasey's been preparing himself for, I think, 14 years for this job. I first took over 10 years ago.
Right.
I think back then I said he's going to be the future Public Works director at some point in his career, and he worked his way up and proved himself. And it was a very simple decision to make when the opportunity, we had the opportunity to replace the director. Kasey prepared himself, got a whole certificates, earned the respect of all the people down at the Public Works Department, and earned a tremendous reputation with everybody else in the township as far as being a team player. So it was a very easy decision to make
And
for
also
me.
helped us with our studio.
And you can see Kasey's work right here in the studio.
Kasey's handiwork, right?
And they continued. They took over the responsibility of the buildings now, and they've never been better, I don't think.
Okay.
And I think the public works with the interaction with the public now and social media, their jobs have become much more difficult.
I bet.
So-
Kasey, one of the things we've talked about in the past here is the recycling. Talk a little bit about it. Last time we covered recycling in here, I think China had just gone out of the recycling business, creating a great problem for some of the townships. Can you touch on that a little bit, please?
Absolutely. So when we talk about recycling, this isn't just an Old Bridge issue. It's not a New Jersey issue. It's not just a United States issue. This is a worldwide issue.
Yes,
and, I focus on the Old Bridge aspect of it. When we talk about recycling, people, they do what they call wishful recycling. They don't fully understand everything that can be recycled or the proper way to recycle.
Yes, sir.
So they might have an item that they think is recyclable. They drop it in the can, and it goes to the curb, gets collected, and then it becomes a problem further down the line. So recycling, the most important aspect of it is to start at home. When you look at recycling, understand how it's recycled, where it's recycled, and we actually have an app that we use. It's recyclecoach.com. It's a state-funded app, so there's no cost to the residents, and there's a lot of useful information on there on how to properly recycle.
And recycling, Gene, has gotten
sir.
very expensive.
That's what I was going to ask
Very
you there.
expensive. We've seen the cost of recycling go up, and we're probably going to go up again next time we renew our contract.
Was that part of China going out of taking a lot of the recyclables?
I think it's a whole
and
industry-wide,
moving
more and
into-
more materials getting generated. I think we talked about it with the e-tail, with all the deliveries going on and all the
Yes.
packaging
Yeah.
that's now put out at the curb. It's just a perfect storm. As I said, China's getting out of the recycling business unless it's a 99% clean.
Yes.
We used to
Yeah.
be able to send all our garbage to China. We can't do that
No,
any
we
longer.
can't do that. That's what I was
So
saying,
as
yeah.
Kasey said, as a society, we need to take more steps. Education is big at the younger generation. Teach them how to recycle.
Right.
We still have people throwing litter out their windows.
Yeah, we were going to
So
touch on
it's-
that. I
it's
wanted to
just-
touch on that a little bit.
Yeah.
Kasey, take us through the single stream situation. We've talked about that right here. Paper, cans, bottles. What's single stream?
So single stream is the same as dual stream that we are traditionally learned about, where you separate your cans and bottles and your cardboard and your paper. The county did a study and they found that putting it all together, collecting it is cheaper for the county.
Really?
Absolutely. And what they didn't realize at the time, I don't think anybody realized, was this separation of it later on is where the problem now lies. So plastic bags and anything that isn't supposed to be in that bin causes a much greater problem down the line. And it does have its pros and cons. You could send a smaller crew out to collect it, and it goes into one truck. They don't need to send multiple trucks or have specialty trucks that separate it
Right.
on the curb line. But in my opinion, I would like to see the township and the county move back towards source separated.
Contamination is the big word we use now.
Yeah,
It's
that's what I
contaminated.
understand, yeah.
Contaminated recycled. It's almost like an oxymoron.
And it seems the word that's always used with regard to that is pizza boxes.
Right, pizza.
Really?
Absolutely. So when you're thinking about cardboard, the top of the pizza box, it hits the cheese, the oils get on there, and that product is now not useful. It can't be turned back into a useful product down the line.
Really?
Yes. So we always ask everybody if they want to recycle the bottom of the box and there's no oil contamination, you could take the top off, throw that away in the regular garbage, and then recycle the portions that aren't contaminated.
That's interesting. What else can people put out, Kasey, right now?
So at the curb, you have your standard, tin cans, aluminum cans,
Right.
plastic, jugs, bottles, cardboard boxes, newspaper, any shiny paper. You could put that all in one can,
Yeah.
and it gets collected bi-weekly.
What about all the cardboard, as the mayor just alluded to, all the cardboard from all the packaging? I know you order from Amazon, and you get more cardboard than you do. You get this big box holding a little package.
That's
that you
placed
ordered.
at the curb also, Gene, the cardboard.
That's placed at the curb.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
no limit to the amount of recyclables you could put at your curb.
What can people bring to the yard over here?
So going back to 2018,
Yes, sir.
we reviewed what we accepted at the yard and what was accepted curbside, and to keep the services up, we decided to eliminate curbside recycling from the recycling center because you have the outlet at your house, and keep the concrete collection that you could bring to the yard. We do paint collection once a month. We styrofoam collection, carpet drop off, mattresses we accept. We accept 2 types of oil: cooking oil, which is in a separate tank, motor oil in another tank. So we do offer a lot of services.
Electronics.
Oh yeah, the big one, electronics.
Yeah.
Especially after Black Friday.
Yeah.
We get a rush on electronics.
So somebody can bring their TV set here, or their washing machine, or...
Absolutely. So washing machine, scrap metal, and that's a separate subject. You can bring it here, and that's 3 days a week, or you can call for a pickup, and for no charge, the township will come pick it up.
Okay.
That's considered the white goods portion of what we move.
The
Washing
white-
machines,
that's true,
dryers,
the white,
refrigerators, yeah.
That's right. Is it possible in any way right now, Mayor, to your point about the expensiveness, can we make a profit on any of this?
We used to, the count, whoever was picking up used to, and didn't apply that to a savings, but now
Yes,
I think the recycling business has get less and less profitable. Some items are still, I'm not going to say in demand, but still, you don't pay to drop them off. I think cardboard but the metal, obviously, you get something back from the scrap metals, but the majority of it, no, you pay to get rid of it.
Yeah, so there is no profit in it at all. It's
Very
just
little.
A cost,
Very
cost
little.
center. Kasey, one thing, if I may also, is, and one of the mayor's pet peeves I know is littering. People littering, I know, in the mattresses and the washing machines. And Mayor, what's going on with that? And the clean team.
It's very frustrating, Kasey and I, when you can bring it here and drop it off legally,
Yes, sir.
and then we see that same material on the side of the road. We see a mattress or a refrigerator or whatever, and then we have to go out, we have to pay our guys to go pick it up. We can't leave it there. And the litter itself is just a big problem throughout the entire state. Old Bridge, we try to keep up with it, but it seems like we clean a road, and then within hours it's already littered, people throwing stuff out their windows, or garbage trucks that drive around with the top off or whatever.
Yeah.
It's become a throwaway society, and we need to work on that. But we have
the
the mayor's
clean
clean
team
teams.
has been a good initiative.
Yes,
hasn't
it's
it?
been a great, well received, very productive. There's hundreds of tons of material that's been removed from the sides of the roads, and we're going to continue that for as long as we need to. And that's part of what the Clean Communities and DPW handles all that. They organize the teams, they schedule them, they put them out there with the proper equipment. Safety, always is our main concern
Right.
when we put people on the roads. So, but yes, it is a program that we have to do, and we will continue to do it.
Mayor, what about penalties? Are there any penalties for littering?
Well, I'll let Kasey talk about that. We've
Kasey,
implemented
please.
some technology. We don't want to give the playbook away.
100%.
No, but I mean, are there penalties if people are
Yes.
caught littering mattresses and
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
other
So
penalties?
if you drive throughout the township, you'll notice that there's no littering signs.
Yes,
and
sir.
there's a $1,250 fine that's associated with
Really?
that.
Wow.
Absolutely. And throughout the last couple of years, we've been working closely with the police department to install cameras in all the hot spots. Like the mayor said, we're not going to tell you where they're at, but
Right, sure.
keep an eye out for them, because we have caught several people, and the police take care of business with that. And they
It's expensive. They can
Yeah.
confiscate the vehicle if it's a commercial vehicle.
absolutely.
So, and we have, the police have been very successful. And so dumpers beware.
No, but a lot of it is just educating people too. I mean, you think people would be educated by now anyway, wouldn't you? Okay. Folks, if I could ask you, just hold your thought. Folks, we're going to be taking a break right now. We're talking with Kasey Lenning, who is our new director of the Department of Public Works. Please stay with us, and we'll be back in a moment.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Dad,
Just 1 minute, okay?
hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look! The COVID-19 vaccines can be our chance to get back to our plans, who we are, what we miss, to get back to each other, to life. But it's okay to have questions, like, how were the vaccines tested? In rigorous clinical trials among adults of diverse backgrounds. Can the vaccines give you COVID-19? You cannot get COVID-19 from a vaccine. Why should I get vaccinated? Protecting yourself also helps protect the people around you. Find the latest information at getvaccineanswers.org.
Hi, folks. Welcome back to Old Bridge Outlook with Mayor Owen Henry. Our guest today is Kasey Lenning, who's our new director of the Department of Public Works. Gentlemen, if we can pick up where we left off. Kasey, what is the impact technology has had on your business?
Technology is extremely important. So 3 years ago, we implemented a cloud-based work order system, and that allows the department to track work orders, continuing issues, and if we find an issue that Public Works can't handle ourselves, we could then notify the correct department, such as engineering or planning or even the police department.
Has the technology extended, Mayor, to the brining as well, the brining of the roads?
Well, technology, that's just a change in method or technique. I think what Kasey's talking about technology, it's made the Department of Public Works easier, especially when it comes to budgeting.
Okay.
When these programs that Kasey uses, at the end of the year, we can track every tire that was changed, everything that happened within that department. So on a monthly basis, Kasey gets his reports, and then we're able to be proactive and make adjustments.
I'm sorry, Mayor. How about new equipment?
So we're always looking forward to receiving new equipment, but we're also trying to repurpose equipment that we have. Yeah. We had a 2006 Vector truck, the big yellow truck that cleans out the storm drains, and the Vector component on the back was at its life's end. So we were able to take that truck, the motor, the chassis, the frame, and repurpose that to a hook lift. And that hook lift, then we can implement a brine system. So we have small containers to move equipment. We have a brine tank that's coming with that. So we're really excited to see that equipment come through.
And we've invested millions over the last 10 years into when I first came here, the equipment was unsafe. And I made a strong commitment that we were going to get all new vehicles, more efficient vehicles that do more work with the same amount of effort. Absolutely. And we continue that. Your capital budget this year is quite a bit. Yes. But it's an investment into the community.
Right, yes.
That equipment that we buy goes out there and serves the public.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. One other thing, Kasey, I know we touched on clean teams. What other role does volunteers play in your operation? School people, other functions, what do they do?
So the volunteers, we primarily deal with them with the clean team. And last year we were fortunate enough to have 65 groups come out and clean the roadways with us.
Really?
Yes.
65, wow.
Absolutely. And most of those groups are a minimum of 10 people up to 20 people. So we touch a lot of people, as far as recycling and cleaning. So we take that opportunity to not only clean the roadways, because that's only the first step. Yes, sir. We also educate all the people why littering is bad, and they use their voice. Then they go back to their friends and family and let them know that littering, needs to stop.
That's amazing.
And those volunteers, Gene, they represent non-profit organizations,
right,
and that organization then gets a check to pay. So those volunteers actually volunteer their time for the organization that they represent, and then that organization gets a check from the township out of our Clean Communities grant. What's it, $300 to $500?
Yeah, mostly $500.
$500, so they can do that in 3 hours on a Saturday morning, and that's a lot better than shaking the can with the kids.
Yeah.
So and again, as Kasey said, it's an educational process also.
I'm just amazed the numbers of people that turn out for this kind of thing.
Unfortunately, we have more groups than time, but we try to get as many groups out on the roadway cleaning up as possible.
Wow. I'm very surprised at that. That's wonderful.
Great program.
Wonderful for the township. It is a huge program for you. And a lot of it, I think, Mayor, has been your initiative, too. clean communities
Clean
and
communities,
the
the
clean
beach
team and-
cleanup, we're down
Yeah.
there a number of times during the year. And then just keeping up with the general, waste. We have to make sure that the town is presented in a decent way.
Yes. Okay, Kasey, we talked earlier about the role of Public Works. We talked also, that you have to interact with a lot of other departments. How does this take place? You have planning, you have code enforcement, you have police. What goes on there? How do you meld everything together?
So I think clear lines of communication are the most important. We have such a great team, and as being a new director, the seasoned veterans, they'll lend a helping hand, and
Yes, sir.
We're very active, so we do the best we can. But it's extremely important for the success for every department that everybody works together.
And your role is, as we said, you're one of the larger departments, so you play a role in almost everything that goes on.
Absolutely. When anybody needs a helping hand, they tend to call Public Works.
Okay. Okay. What's your biggest challenge, if I may ask?
Snow.
Snow. Okay. I was afraid you were going to
removal's
mention
definitely the biggest challenge for Public Works.
that. It is.
Yes. And the main reason for that is, first of all, we're reliant on weather reports, and not to bash the weathermen and women out there, but we don't always get the most accurate reports. But we have a lot of different news sources that we get it from, and we do the best we can. And the one thing that I would like residents to understand
Yes, please.
the roads might not always be pretty, but they're always passable. The biggest goal of Public Works is to make sure that there's safe passage for every fire truck, police officer, and ambulance within the township.
Kasey, do people have any idea how many roads you cover in the township?
No,
They're only worried about their road.
What?
They're only
They're
worried
only
about
worried
that
about
100
their
feet in
road.
front of their house. They don't
But how
care.
many roads are there? Old Bridge, I know we've been over the number
we
of
have
it.
Old Bridge maintains hundreds of miles of roadway.
Hundreds of miles of roads.
In addition to that, sometimes we'll catch some grief for State Highway Route 18 or State Highway Route 9. That's under the state's jurisdiction. There's county roads also, and we even have a small part of the parkway that runs through Old Bridge.
Really?
Yes.
And you're responsible for, you don't do that.
We just do local roadways.
Local roads.
Yes.
But I have ordered us to do some county roads at times. Sometimes the county roads are not passable, and we make them passable. We've made that decision.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever done a state road or.
No, the state's never needed us, but again, it's a public safety concern. If
Yes, sir.
516 is not passable, we will send our trucks out to clear it.
Okay. Kasey, if I can digress for a moment and talk about one other hat you wear, and you're on the planning board.
Absolutely. I've been an active member for the last 5 years, and I enjoy it. I was at a meeting last night, actually, and I really enjoy volunteering my time.
And that's a
for that.
requirement that a township employee sit on the planning board.
Right,
That's a
right.
requirement of the makeup of the board, that somebody from the township is sitting on the board, and Kasey does a great job because of his knowledge of the town.
Right.
And of course his expertise with DPW. He knows all the ins and outs of Old Bridge and all the concerns that, as a resident, he gets, so he's able to
Yeah.
make his voice heard on the planning board, so we're lucky to have him up there.
Yeah, you sure are, and you get a great opportunity to educate everybody, huh?
Absolutely.
Okay. Kasey, before we depart, what message would you like to leave the residents?
I would like the residents to know that I'm a lifelong resident of Old Bridge. I'm committed to Old Bridge. I raised my family in Old Bridge, and that everybody at Public Works and the town comes down to work every day to provide a better quality of life for every resident.
Okay, Mayor, what would you add to that?
That the Department of Public Works is one of the most important part here. Right up there with public safety. As I said, they control the roads. They're right out in front of your house. Our commitment to Public Works, we're always looking to improve the department. As I said, we've always invested in the equipment. We give the guys and the girls the tools they need to be successful. And if anyone has an issue, what they think is an issue with Public Works, they should get in touch with Kasey or his department, which would include recycling, roads, potholes, and all the hats that you do wear, the snow removal.
Right.
Or send it to me. Then it goes right to Kasey. I mean, I get text or emails in the middle of a snowstorm, and I forward them right to Kasey. Because we're all out there when it's snowing, and we don't stop until the roads are all opened. So if people have an issue, please reach out to us, and we'll take care of it. And I think over the last couple of years, we've been responding in real time that day or within 24
Really?
hours.
That's
The
awesome,
problem is
yeah.
fixed, solved to their satisfaction, and a lot of people are saying thank you, thank you,
Okay.
thank you for what you do. They respect, I think, everybody for what they do for them, because as Kasey said, they're out there for the people.
Okay.
We're here for them.
Kasey, I don't want to put you on the spot, but if you had a wish list, what's the one thing you'd like to get that you don't have now? You have a big budget now, but if there's a wish list,
Well,
what would you like to
we're
get?
doing pretty good. Obviously, we'd like as many employees as we possibly can. We actually just brought a new employee on, so we're excited about that, and we'll just keep growing as a department.
Is training a difficult situation when you bring somebody into this situation, considering your versatility and the things you touch?
Absolutely. We train every day. Every time we receive a new piece of equipment, we need training on that. We have designated employees that we utilize to train the newer employees on the safe use of anything that we operate.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Mayor, do you have any last words?
No, I'm good, Gene. I'd just
You're
like
good?
to thank Kasey for taking on the task. It's a huge task at hand, running a department here in Old Bridge in a town this size.
Yeah.
So we appreciate his efforts and everybody that works under him, their efforts, the foremans right down to the new employee, and we're trying to get him more people.
Okay.
We realize that with more people, that we can do more.
Okay.
So
Thank you,
thanks,
Mayor.
Gene, and thanks for having us. I really do appreciate it. And we got to get the show,
Okay.
more shows going back on
Yeah,
to get this
we will.
information out to the public. It's so important.
I know, I agree, Mayor. And that's one last thing, Kasey. Where do people contact you? How do they reach out to you?
The best bet is publicworks@oldbridge.com, or you could always call in 732-721-5600, extension 6140.
Okay, we'll put that on the screen. And Kasey, thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Again, best wishes. Congratulations. Big job. Got the right person for it.
Thank you.
And I'm sure you will see you again in future
can't wait.
programs. And maybe we'll get a chance to go down to the yard with the camera
Absolutely.
and show people around.
Sounds great.
Okay, thank you. Folks, this has been Old Bridge Outlook with Mayor Owen Henry, our guest, Kasey Lenning, who is the new director of the Department of Public Works. We hope you got a little more insight into some of the efforts that these people put into keeping the township clean and keeping the roads open for you when it does snow. I'd like to thank you for watching. I'm Gene McLaughlin. We'll see you next time. Take care.
Listen, you're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk.
No matter what you're going through,
I just want you to know I'm here.
I've got your back. When you want to talk, I'm here.
Baby, you see, you're so right for me, and I'm right for you. I love the things you do, like sweet tasting wine. Your lips are so divine. Your loving turns me on. My lonely days are gone. That's why I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna let you go. Babe, I'm never gonna let you go. No, no, never gonna let you go. Baby, never gonna let you go. Never gonna let you go. Babe, I'm never gonna.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.